Hello. And here we are live. So, welcome first of all. Just so I say, I'm on my phone and you know how it goes with reading the chat. So I apologize if I miss something. I mean, it does pop up, but I will try to read of this book between Natalie, Alexis, and I see more, but I don't know who is in here. How are you all doing? Natalie, I did send you my new phone number, did I? Did I not? Hi, Jared. So, I'm gonna wait a little bit. So, see if some more will come. Yeah, I can't really set up anything here in the room where I'm living right now. I'm renting a room with a friend. So, I mean, it's a nice big room, but there's not really room for a desk or setup. So I had to set up my own stuff. But I mean, it's not important. Bottle caps. Hello, darling. Good to see you. Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, I wanted to do a book review today. And the book is really what it says, a glass of water and a candle. It's I've never done a book review, so I apologize already because you guys know I'm always going squirrely and you know me by now, right? So yeah, you know that I'm a little squirrel. So a dear friend of mine, she recommended me this book. That's how it looks like. It's probably reversed in the camera here. Someone I worked with, someone we exchanged knowledge. Yeah, what I really appreciate. So I'm always open to new things to learn, and I know there's always a little more than what we know already. What caught my attention there was the work with ancestors, which I talked in the past too about, right? How very important this is that we respect and honor our ancestors because they are guiding us through our life. And also, it explains what a spirit is, it explains what spiritualism is, and where all religion actually take a piece of. And it will tell you the difference about religion and spiritualism, because there is, we know that, right? And see, now I'm starting squirreling already. I wanted to make notes, but I can't read notes and read off the book. So let me just tell you a little bit why I like this book so much. Like when I started my journey and I was looking for something, but I didn't know what I was looking for. I don't know. I started everywhere. So natives always had my attention because the way they lived with nature and everything, and how they did how they do their spiritual work. So that's how it started with me. Actually, it always caught my attention. Then I kept looking more. So I felt very drawn to the Pictish people, right? Then I went further to the Celtic people, and all of a sudden I was here where I am now, into my Norse tradition, where one of my guides is Odin. So it literally tells you to be open, right? Not to be like, oh, in my past life I was a Buddhist and this is what I do now, and this is who I call in now, and this is who I accept support from only. So, because remember, over the course of years and centuries and lives, you've experienced different lives, right? So different belief system, different area, different whatever. Like we all know, we've not been around only one time, so therefore we have ancestors in every culture, right? And that's why I can't stand this, slamming each other constantly. So, which of course there could be something related that past ancestors had issues too, right? Which we can heal with our action here in the now. Okay. So, and it also speaks, or he speaks about the energy too, as well, like how we are made out of energy, where we're coming from, and kind of like what I explained too several times. But he explains it so easy, so nice to read, and it's not one of those books where you have to read a sentence 5 million times in order to understand what you just read. It's really smooth, it's really nice to read and easy to understand. So, and so I wanted to read a few. Hi, Bones. Can I say your real name now? Or not? Navinda. I'm just kidding. So I would like to read a few little sections. I don't want to read all of the book because I actually want you to go and get it. And because it's something you should have on a shelf. Like, this is one of the books where you can always look back and say, okay, what was that again? I have books too, and this is one of them where I always read again and again and again. Like, even I have books that are 5 years old and older, and at one point I just take it out and read it again, because what happens over the year, you will read things differently, you will understand differently. You know what I mean? So this is like a shelf keeper, I would say. So let me start. Okay, I gotta put my two other eyes on. And I just wanna read about, like, I just want to read some chapters. So it starts with what is spiritualism, right? So, because for many, everything is religion. If as soon as you start believing in something, following a path, or you say you work with ancestors, you work with guides, it's a religion. No, it's not. A religion is if you, like, just, this is right, this is how it has to be, and this is the only way that is right, like Catholics. Excuse me. Here I go. I'm sorry, Navinda. So, so the origins you will all find in the book. So let me read this part. And it's really important that you know where it's coming from, right? Where this has the seed. So spiritualism is the level playing field for all religions. So, and if you read it, you will totally understand, It is creedless, void of prejudice, with the expection of malice and greed. Secondly, there is no religious idea that is rejected at the table of spiritualism. All spirits are welcome, granted they come in name of love. And those spirits and people who don't come in love are exiled spirituality. And we have a few of them on this planet, right? One may practice these rituals and follow these trains of thoughts regardless of religious affiliation. And this is what I like so much. Like always to be open. See, like how I started out, how I started listening to the sound of my ancestors, right? I mean, once you go deeper and deeper and you're not familiar with it, of course, this is all new. And sometimes you think you're whacked in the head, especially if you don't have anyone that can explain you things. So in here, very interesting iconographic change of language and ritual cannot escape the common attributes amongst most religions: libation, chanting, meditation. So aquatic renewal is indigenous to all traditions of spirit. All religions embody these common exercises of connecting physical to spiritual. So, and this is mostly for the ones that believe that the Catholic Church is not doing rituals. And I'm not judging, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, and it's in peace. I don't care who honors what. Desert Rose, hi. I'm sorry. I, I can't read and read the chat, so if I miss someone, I'm sorry. Hi. So let me see, what else did I have here? I'm sorry. So, and the practice umbrellas are the talents like astrology, numerology, mediumship, water gazing, and herbal holistic. And this comes, yeah, it has African roots, all of this, right? So, and I know my friend, they're practicing mostly the Orisha, which comes from the Congo. And again, everything goes in. You see, this is all what everybody does, right? Or healing work. So, but what I find these days, we have this elephant called spirituality, and or even religion, and everyone gives this elephant a different name. You know what I'm saying? So it's mostly about bringing these things together, working with the knowledge of your ancestors, respecting ancestors. And the book will also explain you why it's so important to work with your ancestors. I will read in a little bit about this. Like I said, I just don't want to read the whole book. So here, this is what I marked about what I just talked. So all major religion is based on ancestral worship. All religion. So, but before we get into the structure of religion, let's begin by looking at the productive value of worshiping ancestors. So any task that requires trial and error will most definitely appreciate experience as a guide. So, and then he gives this nice example. For Example, if two men who have never seen or heard of a cliff while exploring the cliff, one of the men clumsily falls and perishes down the cliff. The other man who didn't slip and fall is directly affected and will be alive to tell the story of the danger of the cliff and the story of the unfortunate man. So this example serves well to highlight to highlight mankind's achievements and failures of our predecessors. I'm sorry, some words I can't pronounce right. For indigenous societies, it is imperative in transferring knowledge as a means of immortality and morality. So, as you know, we all carry it in us. And I'm talking about we carry it with us by birth. It isn't our DNA, even if we have, I mean, some we know we have traumas and we know where they're coming from. This could be because it was passed on in a chain, but sometimes you are born, you have a good life in your opinion, but still you get triggered by certain things. And this could be something that was just born in your DNA, right? Born with your DNA. I can't talk today. So then he gives a few examples about different prophets like Abraham, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. So if they were alive and died, they are now in fact ancestors being idolized. So they're worshipping the ancestors ancestors too, I'm sorry. It's just that many churches, I find, I apologize. Say this is wrong, this is right, this is evil. You know, I have several ancestors, different kind, different cultures, and I'm open to more because that's how I grow, and that's how you will grow too. And just to get off the topic, in these past years, I like to call it the awakening shake-up time. I had so many ancestors coming to me, and they weren't all mine. So because people were so blocked, so it's like, hey, you can see us, right? Can you tell so and so? Of course, I can't do that. I can't. They don't come with a phone number, you know. But I'm just saying they're around. They were worried. So another interesting thing. The canonization of saints is ancestral worship practice as well. For inside the altar stone of all Catholic cathedrals contains a piece of bone from the saint to whom the church is dedicated. So now here we go. This is considered necromancy. Something he will revisit later in the book. So and so many do it a different way. As he says also, natives, they dance, right? I dance. I sing. Sometimes I scream, sometimes I laugh, right? So let's say for the famous rain dance. So what he says is the formula, because it is indeed one. Pollen, dust, and smoke are combined to create change in the ions within the atmosphere, causing rain clouds. This is an example where the magical becomes scientific. You know, this ritual memory has been passed down orally and intergenerationally and can only be credited to the ancestors. So this is what, for example, the Druids did too, and other cultures. They passed it on verbally. Same with the cliff, what we just explained. It wasn't written down really. Most wasn't written down, so it was passed on. And of course, unfortunately, down the road, things got lost because no one was aware. No one wanted to take care of this anymore. To continue tradition. Is it in a native circle? Is it in other circles? Like, if you're not strict and you make sure that your next generation will have that knowledge, it will just die. It will disappear. So that's why it's important that some that carry knowledge like him share this. So then he will also talk more about the human bone in the altar. I see you lurking. So, and let's go USA. So they built their things to the forefathers: George Washington, Jefferson, Grant, Monroe, Madison, Lincoln, and Benjamin. So, and they're also on the currency. So, which is a different subject, the money, in this book as well, because money is evil, money is evil, money is evil. No, it is not evil. Energy is not evil. It's what we make of energy. Energy is neutral. Energy don't care. It's what you do with this energy. So if you use people to get money, then of course it becomes not so nice energy. So interesting, Lincoln is unfortunately the cast-out chief who is cursed to face the others. This is evidenced by his face being turned in the opposite direction of the president's. You know what? I have never, ever considered that. So, never crossed my mind. So the 9/11 memorial site, a place of worship of the dead. So all these places, they are not just a memory to, okay, this is something bad. It's to worship the people. But you have to make that, right? If you see something bad in it, I don't want to be reminded of this. Me neither. Certain things should be not forgotten, but not seen so dark, because it's just about worshiping the people, not worshiping, but respecting, honoring. A little bit about the bone. Bones have a connection that allow the spiritual and physical to interact. Very interesting, because bones are your antenna. So is your hair. Your hair is your antenna. Bones. I mean, of all the skulls in certain places, cathedrals, they were chanting in there to carry frequencies, right? So again, you connect with the other realm. So, but whoever you call upon, this is up to the individuum. So yeah, and all the people that are on the money that are dead. So yeah, our concepts, rituals, morals, and parables all come from those who came before. Without the ancestors, mankind could never advance. Without the trial or error of our predecessors, We own technology, medical, spiritual, and societal advancement to the dead. Yeah, because we learn if you meditate enough, if you journey enough, you learn to connect. You feel them, and same as you talk to trees, as you talk to rock. Well, I do talk to rocks too, because everything has a spirit, and he explains this as well. So everything. So then he also gets into the subject of what the spirit is, which is a good question, right? What is a spirit? Let me see. Spirit is often associated with air and wind. The word inspiration refers to breathing using the nostrils, throat, and ears when taking a deep breath while one becomes inspired. Yeah, those breathing techniques, and they're in so many, not only religions, but everyone who goes a little deeper into healing themselves, into connecting, they will realize how important breathing is. I spoke about that before too, because especially on my rune webinars, I was trying to teach breathing exercises. So spirit is the intangible consciousness and metaphysical awareness with the ability to orchestrate a means to exact what is necessary to that awareness's existence. A non-physical awareness that orchestrates a means to communicate what is necessary to your consciousness at any given moment. And then, of course, he explains this a little more. I just like to read the parts that, to give you little hints what that book is about. So, this is a nice one. So, and everyone behaves different around you, for example, right? We know that some you don't want to be around, you just keep moving, you separate down the road. The more you grow, the more you heal, the more you will find out that certain people, just the energy doesn't match anymore. God, I'm going all squarely. So, and therefore we're coming now to the elements that are so important, which I have been working with forever since I work, or since I'm going to sweat lodges. There's the medicine wheel. It cannot be without. Air, earth, water, and fire are all conduits of spirit. We detect spirit using our four senses. The clairvoyant is affected by light as fire. The clairaudient by sound as air, the intuitive by smell as earth, and the dreamer by emotions as water. Isn't that beautiful? Through these mediums, spirits communicate with us and through us. So, and most people are affected by at least one of these elements, because we cannot be around, or we cannot be without. And something that I've always said, energy does not die, yet it breaks down and changes form. Parts of the deceased person's consciousness remains and gravitates towards familiar energy fields. If the consciousness is well developed, it may manipulate other energies, producing phenomena such as poltergeist, possession, nightmares, dreams, and miracles. Yeah. And he also explains plants and stones have spirits as well, right? And that it's even explained in biology by observing our cellular life, because cells make decisions as well. And this is why it's so important to connect to nature, really. It's so super important, because you will realize that your body functions like a tree without healed roots. You can't function like a tree with no roots, cannot function and grow. So our roots is where we ground to who we stabilize who we are. And this could be going back many generations in many cultures. You understand what I mean by that? Navinda, I hope I'm explaining that good enough, because I'm a squirrel. So, and with us being all connected and with nature, so if you heal your wounds, if your roots, if you heal who you are, if you know who you are, this is who I am, and no one can change this, and no one will manipulate me anymore to become who I don't want to be, who they want me to be. This is when the roots start healing. And then the rest, everything goes up, your stem, your the tree crown, everything. And this is where your ancestors, your guides help you with. And what many mistaken as well is, I told my ancestors, I told my guides, this ain't working for me, make it go away. Oh, I screwed this up, can you make it, please make up for me? Here with the Catholic Church, with the angels, they may want to misuse them for their game. Or even if you want to manipulate, or if you want your guides to make decisions for you, for your greater good, to influence, that will not work, because we are responsible for the choices we make. And he says this here. So in spiritualism, this influence can be driven by a negative or positive spirit, because you are responsible for the choices you make. But the drive behind this is what I meant before, that certain decisions get passed on. Is it through for family? Is it through your DNA, what is in you? Same with my family. Many things went wrong there, and at one point I was like, I'm cutting that. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm not down for that anymore. I'm breaking the circle right here. And ever since, I can feel with the past healing now that everything moving forward is better. My heart is free. There is room for the ancestors to guide me in the right directions, and that's what they do. But if you're constantly the negative Willie, this is bullshit, and I don't need this, and I need this to go away. Well, yeah, then you attract other spirits, right? Then he explains the 4 elements, super nice, but I'm not going to read that all. I just wanted to give you a little taste here, and I'm doing that longer than I had planned on. So he explains very well the scent, the water, the fire, and everything else, how that is connected with your energy, how you can work with it. And here, talking of decisions here, and with the cells, that affect the greater organism, us. So, and this is what I just said. So the cell sends out, is it through hormones? Is it through wrong food? Is it whatever it is? So, but this is the same with spirits that are being sent out to influence our decisions. So therefore, if you're constantly negative, you will attract those spirits that are like, hey, let's have a little fun here. But he explains this really, really super nice. What else do we have? Then he explains the blood. Very nice. Or about the sacrifice, which has nothing to do with losing any blood, just so you know. So, and this is what I super like. The sacrifice is carried out through devotion, space, time, and acknowledgement of the trilogy of spiritual practice that interlock in the worship of the Lukumi traditions. So this is water, flour, tobacco, coffee, rum, incense. So, and that's what I do too. Or even with the with my brothers and sisters from the sweat lodge, there's tobacco for them, or for me too now. Tobacco is very special, very holy. So he says, for example, if we have a sweat and I loaded the pipe, no one actually should be smoking next to it, or you tell the spirit, you're not honoring it. So I like it. So a lot of the Congo, and I'm not going to read about the sacrifices. He will explain that. Then he explained the spiritual court, the guides, the protectors, laborers, and the malevolent. So the spiritual court consists of energy manifesting itself in the form of consciousness. So when you are born, the physical shell is very fragile, okay? So we know the soft skull of the babies, the skin, the immune system is building up. So that's why babies get sicker quickly, and or get fevers. So they react very sensitive to certain energies. And that's why it's so important that babies get a lot of affection, right? What else? There's so much. There is so much. He explains auras very well. So he explains, for example, the aura. Just a little part. Like I said, it goes so much more into details. I'm just giving you those parts where I thought you would like to hear them. No, we know that we can measure auras, right? Most know that. So, and and he explains it as well, and that's what I said too before. When you enter a room and you can know that someone was in there or not, you just feel it. If you enter a room and it's empty, and you can feel it, oh, someone was just here, someone here, you can feel it. If you're really practicing and paying attention, you can do this. So, and that's why it's so important, if you buy antique furniture, to smudge them off. So, okay, he explains the aura. I love that one here. Imagine you went to Chernobyl. Yeah, just don't do that, but just imagine. If not dressed appropriate, well, this is about how to protect yourself from other energies as well. Imagine you went to Chernobyl, the famous plant. If not dressed appropriately, the radiation would attach itself to your aura, and you would now carry the radiation, infecting those around you. This is where we address spiritual hygiene by way of people, places, and the things we interact with. You could bring a stone into your home innocently, and unknowingly, this stone may be attracting negative energy into your house, turning things upside down, so to speak, because you picked it up from someplace. And let me tell you, I do sign that totally because I'm a rock addict. I have to pick rocks up everywhere where I go. And that was years ago. And when I read that, I'm like, hello. So, yeah, so really make sure that whatever you bring back, cleanse it, sage it, rinse it underwater, depending what is. However you do it for you. And that's the same with us. So since I'm going to sweat lodges, I mean, I did smudge before and smudge myself off, but ever since I've been learning more. I smudge myself when I leave the house and speak gratitude for next new day, for a good day. I when I come back, I do the same. Those are little rituals that really, really help, right? And ancestors will appreciate that, or your guides. And I got my altar, and this is not so because I'm afraid, other than that, they're not coming to me. This is just like showing them respect. I got some whiskey, I got some meat, because I know Odin, my ancestor, he loves meat. I leave cookies out or oranges. I put out a little plate, depending on if I cook a nice meal. Leave a little plate out. And it's interesting. Most even do it. If you're one of the person, I don't know. I have problems to speak today. I'm so sorry. If you're one of the people that always leave one bite on the plate, just because you can't explain it, and I know many, and I was one until I realized what I was doing. Actually, not really knowing your subconsciousness is telling you, hey, you should leave some for the ancestor. That's at least something that I believe in. And it's just a little thank you. Thank you for being here. Of course, they will not take the fork and start eating, but it's to appreciation. Um, yeah, so here another interesting thing. If a person has the ethical and moral connection to the culture of the samurai, he is just examples. It can be attached to a spiritual energy that governs how to interact with that world perspective. So could be that you have behaviors, structures, or certain behaviors. Maybe you even have it now, even though you're living, I don't know, let's say, for example, let's say you go to church, right? And then, but deep inside, you carry that in you. So, and again, this is not about separation for me. This is about just listen to you, just listen to your feeling, because this is your guide speaking to you. And especially in these times, it's really important. So especially with the mixed DNA we have here. And then he explains really nice the DNA and everything as well. That is very interesting. So what else do we have here? Of course, he speaks about clothing, what to wear. Because that attracts too, right? For example, clothing is another way to influence your actions. The saying, dress like a gentleman or be the gentleman, is an old saying used in reference to how you dress, dictating behavior. Notice, if a man is attending a wedding and becomes intoxicated, allowing the liquor, spirits, to take control of him, he will begin to peel out of the tuxedo in an attempt to free himself of the constrictions. So, because now it's connected to the suit. So, yeah, so depending on what you do, if you do readings, if you do healing, if you do energy work, so everything you need to cleanse. Yeah, Alexis, I can't answer you that. There is a chapter in here in that book. So I'm just doing little chapters, So we talk later regarding the book, okay? A mask. The ritual mask is used throughout the world in religions and fraternal rituals. The mask creates a symbolic division between worlds. So interesting, huh? That we all had to wear masks. Just saying. Yeah, so that's why. So if you do certain rituals or journeys or meditations, if I do certain rituals, I dress in certain clothes. Hey, Max. um, I mean, some wear black, some wear white, some wear green, some wear purple, um, some wear red, for different purposes. And then again, he explains several category of guides. Like, there are chapters about it. And should I hold on? Yeah, it explains why we keep certain things, certain furniture, pictures, why we have an altar. I mean, even if you just have a picture up of someone, that maybe has passed or even not passed, but in this moment, you're paying respect, you're worshiping an ancestor. He also explains possessions. So, which doesn't mean necessarily, I'm not talking of The Exorcist puking pea soup, okay? So, spirit possession and divination are the fruits of spiritualism in most indigenous spiritual practices. The possessed medium is there to transmit the psychonetic energy. Oh God, I can't say that word. I have to skip a word. Allowing the devotee to communicate and interface with the energy that surrounds the devotee. Spirits communicate with us through divination, possession, channeling, dreams, numbers, or just unexplainable phenomenon. So we know that. Is it if we see a number? Is it all of a sudden we listen to a song? Or the bus isn't leaving that you wanted to take. I still see you lurking, bottle caps. So and that's why it's really, really important that you know what you do when you do that, and that you always protect yourself. So also explains the schizophrenia. That is a spiritual conversation gone bad, and I can sign that too. So it is so nice. Like what I do, I mean, there are ways to invoke, but this is something I really just recommend people that know what they're doing, and that you always have someone with you. So I just like to communicate the regular way, but everything is explained. And then also, what I learned from this is, now we're coming to the glass and the glass of water and the candle, how you can communicate, or do several practices just with the water and a white candle. And interesting was, talking again of you carry it in your DNA, that I always had a glass of water on my altar in a mason jar, so to say. Always water, always a bottle of water. And a mason jar of water, sometimes a glass of water, just because I felt I have to do it. And I always had a white candle. So, and that's what I mean, try to be open, because, just follow the call to learn more, and we never stop learning. So I think those were the most important things that I wanted to share with you about the book, and I can really recommend you this book to learn more about it, to read more about it. Later on, I learned who that writer was, and I had no idea. I just bought it because I trusted my friend, and I didn't regret it at all. So, yeah, I will put the link in there, and I will do next month a giveaway of one book, or maybe by the end of the new month. Well, it's almost March, yeah. So you've written a 4-page of notes. I will put later the Amazon link, and then there is another book link. I will put it later in the comment section, because I can't post links in my regular section, because I don't know why. Yeah, oh God, yeah, I got striked once for a funny video. Really funny. It wasn't nasty, but whatever. I'm gonna put it in the comment section and pin it. So, again, I recommend. I wouldn't do that for everyone, and I wouldn't just do that because to do a favor. It is really a nice book. So really easy to understand. It's not even, but there's pretty much everything in you need to know regarding ancestor spirits, spiritualism, and yeah. So yeah, you can see Alexis, or like I said, I'm gonna put the Amazon link out later, and another book link of that. So yeah, and I will see. Leave me some comments, and I will see that I will do one giveaway. And by the end of next month, pigeon, bottle caps. I'm gonna give you pigeon in a second. Pigeon, pigeons. He calls my raven. Don't listen to him. Okay, you guys. I hope I could interest you in that. Just because it's really an important topic, I find, to help you on your daily task, or if you feel stuck, and you can ask for help because it's around you. So it's in you, that help, that knowledge is in you. I mean, other than that, yes, we're part of the universe, creator, real, God, source, however you would like to call it. So we're in there. So, Hugin. Yeah, thanks, Natalie. You had it. They're on both arms. Bottle cap. The two ravens and two wolves. I'm not pulling that down any further. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I wanted to do a 15-minute book review, but this is what I mean. You can't stop. I cannot explain this book in 15 minutes. So, yeah, you just have to read it yourself. And leave me some comments, and then I will do a little lottery regarding a giveaway. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much. I love you. And yeah, we'll try to be a little more present, but life, busy, work, tired. So I love you very much, and you're never forgotten. And you can always email me if you want something, if you have a question or need help. I will always answer. Okay. You all have a good night. Love you.